Take as many days as you need. School can wait.
Send you to checking up on me?
Maybe he's worried about you.
I can take care of myself.
Yeah, I've noticed more than once.
Okay, episode 9, guys, was amazing. It was the episode of Answers. We got one of these every season, and I think that the reason why we got them now in episode 9 was because, like Jeff said, he wrote the season in sections to make it easier to write, which is pretty smart on his part. Whatever you need to do to make the show easier to write for you, Jeff, you know, you've always given me gold. You've always given me things that I really enjoyed and cared about. So if you need to write it in sections to make it easier for you to write, that's fine. A lot of people were saying that, you know, if he's going to be putting out the season's in parts, and we're not going to be getting the next part until like 2014 or something, what's the point of even making it a third season or whatever? I think that it's fine to make it into a third season if you're going to do it in parts, and it makes it easier to write, because otherwise you end up with the Vampire Diaries, where everything is just shoved together and choppy and bullshit and horrible. So really enjoyed it. Finally finding out who the Duroc is and who Lydia and what Lydia is was absolutely amazing. I feel like in a lot of ways it was like the Kanema episode in season 2, where they reveal that Jackson's the Kanema. I feel like you know, not so much was happening. The whole episode was really building up to the reveal of who the Supernatural was. But this episode, we got 2 reveals, because, you know, Jennifer is revealed to be the Duroc, and I love that when Lydia is following the text that she thinks she's getting from Aiden, and then she ends up walking into the classroom, getting knocked out. The girl who knew too much, I just thought that was awesome. And I loved the scene with Lydia and Aiden, you know, when they're in the room and Aiden's like, you know, whoa, where's all this coming from? You haven't really talked to me since, and then Lydia goes, since you killed Boyd. I also really enjoyed finding out where the twins came from, and this is what I think. I think that they're really painting the twins in a sympathetic light. They're really painting it so that the twins aren't the horrible alphas like everyone else. You know, like when Ethan tells Scott and Stiles the backstory of the twins, about how they were members of a pack, how their packs, how every member of the pack were assholes. They were the omegas of the pack. They were the outcasts. They were the ones who were being picked on. They were the bitches of the pack, as Stiles said. And, you know, basically Deucalion found them. He taught them how to, you know, be stronger, be more powerful. He taught them how to do the whole mergy thing. I don't know, could they merge, or did he just teach them how to fight? I think he taught them how to merge, which is really cool. So they killed all the betas in their pack, and they killed their alpha, and then they absorbed all that power, and they became, you know, really mega ultra super alphas. But it's painting them that they were victims that Deucalion found, taught to be strong, and then they killed everybody. They killed all the aggressors, all the monsters, and then they themselves became, you know, super alpha, and then they joined the pack. And then even Aiden says to Lydia, we didn't have a choice. Kali killed Boyd, we just helped out. Well, you know, I feel like they're really painting the twins to be sympathetic, and I think that this could lead to the twins becoming regulars on the show. I have no problem with that, but they would need to be depowered. I'm sorry, they would need to not be alphas anymore. I think that that is possible. So I think that if they do depower the twins and the twins become betas instead of the mega ultra alpha that they are, I will enjoy that. Because I think there's a lot of potential with Aiden, and I love Ethan, and I love Danny, and I love Deethan. You know, guys know how I feel about that. I think it's awesome, and I think it's amazing, I think it's great. For when Aiden tells Lydia, you know, you haven't talked to me since, and she's like, oh, since you killed Boyd, I really like that, because as I said before, if Lydia continues to go on with Aiden as she is, despite the fact that she actually saw Boyd die, I'm going to smack her in the face, but she didn't. That actually hit her. Seeing the aftermath aftermath, seeing Boyd die, seeing all that, it really affected her to the point where she's like avoiding Aiden now. She's staying away from him, which is always a good thing. I love how they were like, okay, well, we can get to Ethan because they think that Ethan is a sympathetic one. They think that Ethan is the one who like wants to help out because Ethan really is a sympathetic one. Ethan is the one who has more of a conscience than Aiden. I think Aiden does have a conscience as well, but I think Aiden is a lot more aggressive, a lot more straightforward, a lot more, we've got to do this, we've got to throw our feelings aside. But Ethan isn't like that. I've seen some comments from people basically stating that they're making Ethan the soft one because he's gay. I don't think that doesn't really matter. I mean, I've read some comments about that, people saying like, oh, well, they're making, you know, Aiden the tough one because he's straight and Ethan the softer one because he's gay. I don't think so. I think that it's just that's just their characters. Styles threatening Ethan in the hallway, I laughed because Styles always gets rescued or beaten up. We haven't seen anything really badass from Styles since season 1 when he punched Jackson in the face when Jackson was like, oh, give me the phone or whatever, and then Styles just like knocked him in the face. That was awesome, and we haven't gotten anything like that from Styles, and I'm really upset about that. Why can't Styles kick someone's ass? Like in episode 10 when he beats the Mega Twin Merge Alpha over the head with the baseball bat and the baseball bat shatters and he just kind of steps back. I was like, why couldn't that actually have worked? It would have been better, in my opinion, if Styles just whacked him over the head and the twins like fell on the ground and then they got up and they went after Styles and Styles just kind of ran away. That would have been cool. But the bat breaks and Styles throws the bat, throws his hands up and steps back like, oh, don't hurt me. I was like, really? Why couldn't you just have him be actually hit in the head with the bat? Show that Styles is a badass. Styles doing that is badass in and of itself, but then he has to throw it down, he has to put his hands up. It's dumb. And then, you know, Styles getting the crap kicked out of him by Gerard in season 2. I mean, like, Styles needs to show that he has a tough side, you know? And him threatening Ethan, I found that comical to me. It wasn't like, oh, Styles is such a badass. I found that comical because, like, I'm gonna break myself off an extra large piece of mountain ashwood, wrap it in wolf's bane, stuff it with mistletoe, and shove it up your... I was like, and Scott's like, yeah, Styles, we get it. That scene was sort of comical to me because we haven't seen any kind of real awesome badassery from Styles in a while, you know? And it's just like Styles is awesome and great and badass in himself in the sense that he can solve problems, in the sense that he doesn't really need to be assisted in that sense. And I love how we get that in episode 10. Also in episode 10, I'll get to talk about episode 10. But episode 9, finding out that Jennifer is the Duroc, for me it's a mixed bag because the instant that she came out of nowhere and knocked Lydia out, I was like, she's the Duroc. Oh my god. I was like, she's always been on the suspect list. But I feel like it becomes so evident that the only reason, the one only reason they hooked her up with Derek was for this. Think about it. If Jennifer was not with Derek, would we have felt any kind of shock or effect when it's revealed that she's the Duroc? No, not really, because she would have always been on the suspect list. But showing her as the chick who's hooking up with Derek or whatever and being with Derek, it's just like, that's only there so that we can feel something when she's revealed to be the psycho Duroc who's been killing people the whole season. And that upsets me. I mean, to have Derek do something that is so clearly out of character with him just hooking up with this woman who he doesn't know, and for there to be this instant attraction between them for seemingly no reason, in my opinion, it's just like, really? Like, that's why you did that? You hooked them up just so that we feel something when it's revealed that she's the Duroc. I, for one, would have scrapped them having sex, and I would have just had them been going out. Seriously, like, instead of them having sex the night that Derek's wounded, just have her patch him up and have her spend the night and make sure he's okay. The next day, they go out for breakfast. And then, like, you know, the episode after that or whatever, or even the episode after that, you know, like before he kills Boyd or whatever, or the episode where he kills Boyd, just have them actually go on like a date or something. Show that Derek is opening up to her. But for him to just bang her immediately, and for them to have all these emotions, and for them to, for us to get almost no interaction between them, all they do is just to have sex, and there's this instant attraction, there's this instant connection. It feels like all of that was thrown in there and rushed so that we feel something when it's revealed that she's the Duroc. And I feel like that is just... Jeff, you could have done better than this. That's my point. That's my point here. The only reason they were together is so that we felt jarred when it's revealed that she's the Duroc. And it's like, we don't need that to be there. We could have been affected by it if Derek was just opening up to her. You know what I mean? And it's just like really another person that Derek hooks up as a psycho. Styles even says that in episode 10, but we'll get to that. Now let's get to Lydia being revealed to be a banshee. I was so happy. I was like, oh my god, you don't even know what you are, do you? a wailing woman. I was like, a banshee, and she's like, a banshee. I was like, ah! That was so awesome and great. If you guys don't remember before, I said that someone left a comment that people are theorizing that Lydia could be a banshee, and I said that makes so much sense, but I was wondering about that tree that she keeps drawing, but now I know. I am positive in my theory that that tree is the healing tree that, God, what was the name of that tree? Whatever. The thing where the roots are coming down in the wine cellar, where Derek killed Paige, she's drawing that tree. I fully believe she is drawing that tree. And if you go by the lore, banshees, you know, they wail when death is approaching or whatever. So I think that Lydia probably has a connection to what's going on. When it comes to the big bads and whatever's causing death, whatever supernatural thing is happening, Lydia just kind of develops a connection with whatever that is. She screams when death is present. She's drawn to death. She's drawn to the corpses. And I love Cora going after Aiden. It was a really stupid thing to do, but she's like, you know, I did it for Boyd. Someone needs to be trying to get revenge for Boyd because you guys are just stupid teenagers who just find the bodies. And I love that. I love how we're actually addressing this. The show doesn't throw away issues. The show actually takes issues. Like, for example, the fact that all they do is find the bodies and that they haven't really... They do what they can, but in the end, all they do is find the bodies. They actually touch on that. And then Lydia even says, you know, maybe if I stop fighting it and I start embracing it, we might be able to do something about it. We might be able to do more than just find the bodies. And then her and Scott hold hands. I really like that. They're developing all the relationships and such, which I really enjoy. If you ask me, I think that Stiles needs to be paired up with Isaac and Derek for an episode and actually go off and do something with them. And then maybe, you know, like he saves one of them or something, or he saves both of them from something, and, you know, then we get a little bit of development there. I like how it's solidifying the relationships in certain senses, like, you know, Isaac and Allison, they're sort of buddy-buddy now or whatever. So I do like how everything's being cemented. Especially in episode 10, with, like, Peter, how he just kind of gets cemented or whatever. I enjoyed that. So I really am interested to see what they're going to do with Lydia now that she's a banshee. You know, how are they going to develop that? I really liked how they reveal that with every sacrifice, Jennifer is getting stronger and more powerful. Like, you know, Stiles' dad shoots her in the leg, and then the wound just seals up and heals. And then, you know, she just like pushes the desk with her hand, and it flies across the room and, like, barricades the door. Like, she's just getting mega powerful and really strong with each set of 3 sacrifices. She's getting more powerful, she's getting stronger, she's getting more indestructible. And I like how in episode 10 we even see her use some of that power, but we even see her face, like it's a bit much for her. Like, she can't be putting herself in these situations until she has the complete sacrifice and until she's done the final sacrifice and she's completely ready and she has all the power that she needs to go up against the alphas. I loved Stiles revealing everything to his dad. That was so weird. It was so, like, the chess pieces and all the names. I need to show you the whole board. And he literally tries to show his dad the chessboard with, like, little tags of names on it. That was so Stiles, but it was also so... When it comes to reveals, I don't understand why the show, why everyone tries to be so complicated about it. Just explain it all to him. Just explain it all to him from season 1 all the way to the events of what's happening right now. But he breaks out the chessboard. He's like, yes, so this is this, and this is that, and this is this, and Scott's a werewolf, and Derek's a werewolf, and all this. It's like, why are you doing that, Stiles? Just sit down and talk with him. And I would have had Cora, and then he's like, okay, Cora, get up and show him your wolf face. And then she collapses, and it's because Jennifer has poisoned her with mistletoe, so that in episode 10 she can basically use that as leverage. But Stiles' dad in the end accepting it, and even, you know, we tell him, Dad, you start listening to me. I am listening to you. He's like, yeah, you're listening, you just don't believe me. Mom would have believed me. I was like, oh, like that hit me right here. Like, I was like, oh, come on, Stiles, and come on, Stiles' dad. Like, but you have to understand that it's really hard for him to understand that. But then he even says, you know, like, what did you see when you went to the vault and you saw Scott and, you know, Deaton? Stiles' dad kind of did see something when he was trying to, you know, save Deaton and Scott. But he's kind of suppressing it because I like that. It's realistic. You know, if you saw something like that, you know, you wouldn't immediately jump to all these conclusions and stuff. You would just think, oh, that was weird. And that's exactly what Stiles' dad did. And then Stiles' dad even goes to, like, Scott's mom. I love seeing the parents work things out. But I love that Stiles' dad is now in the loop, that he knows everything that's happening, that Stiles has explained everything that's happening to him, and he's in the loop now. And I'm praying to see an episode like this, where all the kids get in trouble and all the parents have to save the day. Because Scott's mom, she kicked so much ass in episode 10. But yeah. So I'm glad that everyone's in the loop now. No one in the show is in the dark, as opposed to, you know, like, what's happening. All the main characters and even all the side characters, except for Danny. Danny is really the only one out of the loop. But Jeff has been hinting that Danny's going to kind of be mixed into the world of the supernatural, which, you know, it's fine. Happy about that. So, yeah, I really enjoyed episode 9. Love the reveals, love the characters, and the entire scene where the band is doing their music and all of a sudden they start playing the Duroc theme, and then the piano thing breaks, it slices the pianist's throat. That was amazing. And Aiden telling Ethan to stop seeing Danny, I was just kind of like, really, bro? Really? Just let him have what he's got. What the fuck? But even Ethan's like, you know, screw you, Aiden, I'm gonna be with Danny. And I like that, you know? And then how he even goes to Danny, he's like, if anything happens, find me first. I was like, yes, Ethan is gonna protect Danny. And oh, God, that was nice. I'm so happy for that. Every time Ethan's on screen, I'm like, yes. Because seriously, there's not enough LGBT on my television. Seriously. So I'm happy that we're seeing Ethan. Even if it's just a side, whatever, I love it. So, yeah. Really enjoyed episode 9. When Silas's dad got abducted, I was on the edge of my seat, and I was like, oh my god! But, yeah. Episode 9 was great.